Hello my dear friends and welcome to my channel. My name is Barbara and today we're going to be looking at Moon conjunct Saturn in Synastry. This video is for you if you're experiencing this conjunction, maybe in a relationship, friendship, siblings, partnership, absolutely any interpersonal relationship. It's when maybe your moon is conjuncting the other person's Saturn in their natal chart. And if you're a cross watcher, welcome as well. So this is a very, very interesting conjunction. Moon is ruled by Cancer, Saturn is ruled by Capricorn. Here we have an oppositional energy taking place already from the get-go. Now, a few things that I am going to say about this particular conjunction. Moon does deal with the emotional world, the intuitive world, the inner world, the feelings, the emotions, the vulnerabilities, all these wonderful things, the intuition as well, but it also deals with the mother, traditionally in astrology, as that dominant feminine energy within. Saturn, on the other hand, is ruled by Capricorn, which Saturn also rules time, restriction, rules, regulations, authority. So you can kind of look at it as that dominant masculine role. So we kind of have this interesting dynamic going on here. Something I will say, and this is just my own observation with this dynamic, it really depends as to, for all of these moon conjunctions in this particular series that I'm doing, it really depends how evolved both of these individuals are in terms of one of them, their emotional world, their awareness, and the other one even in terms of their emotional world and their awareness. Because this dynamic can either be very positive in the sense where it's like both of these parties, the moon person and the Saturn person, are craving stability in different ways. Moon Cancerian energy craves stability through the home, through the emotional world, through family, and then we have Saturn, which is Capricorn, craves stability through finances, the material world, and these types of things. But at the end of the day, we kind of have this in common because it's like there's a traditional energy that's kind of tying the two, first of all. But secondly, with these energies, it's like they're both seeking stability in one way, shape, or form. So these two energies coming together can provide that perhaps for each other if they're a little bit more evolved. If they're not evolved, I would say that this is going to turn into a karmic dynamic. That's something that I've observed. Even though I do find all relationships to be karmic in one way, shape, or form, this one can be very karmic in the sense where it's like the Saturn person is maybe healing the mother energy, the feminine energy within through the moon person. And then the moon person is perhaps healing the father energy, the father dynamics with the authoritative figures, the masculine energy within through the Saturn person. Now, it doesn't really matter what gender you guys were born into because we all have these energies within us. So you can kind of look at it as feminine and masculine energy, but it could really manifest in this way, especially if they're in their lower versions. It can also go into the shadow energy where it's like both are kind of wanting the other one to be more of the other. So perhaps the moon person is wanting the Saturnian individual to be more emotional, to be more open, but perhaps the Saturn person is struggling with that. And perhaps vice versa, where the Saturn person maybe wants the moon person to be less emotional, maybe more grounded, maybe more stable in the material realm, however this might manifest. So it's really interesting because it can go very much into a positive dynamic, this dynamic where it's like the divine feminine energy, where it's like the intuition and the home and the caring and the emotional world and all these things. And then the divine masculine energy where it's like the stability, the groundedness, the financial support, and kind of containing that emotional world. So it really, really depends once again as to what takes place and how evolved these two people are. But probably more often than not, just because of the way that the earth is, at least for now, this is probably going to turn into a dynamic where it's headbutting energy, where it's like, I want you to be more like this, but you're not like this, and I want you to be more like that. And then it's karmic, because Saturn overall does rule karma, if we think about it. So there's that aspect to it as well. So overall, I feel like for all of these moon conjunctions in Synastry, the moon person is probably going to feel it more, because the moon is the emotional world. They are the feelers. So they probably are going to be affected by this dynamic more. Definitely can go into the divine version if both people are mature, emotionally available, emotionally intelligent, emotionally aware, or just aware of themselves and their flaws. But it can also turn into like a very cold dynamic as well, where the Saturn person is kind of like very cold to the moon person, you know, not aware of their emotions, not wanting to learn, kind of like strict and rigid and just absent maybe in this way. So it's a really interesting dynamic to see. Maybe if some of you guys have experienced this dynamic, you guys can comment below about how your experience has been. So I'm going to wrap up this quick little video on Moon conjunct Saturn in Synastry. If you guys did enjoy this video, please do like, share, and subscribe. And I hope you all have a beautiful rest of the day.